Okay, so we are going to talk about another cool GenAI program that we have. It is to unleash the AI-assisted coding powers. We have I'm sure our trainer Hitesh Motwani is here as well, right? So a little bit about Hitesh. Hitesh has worked with Ogilvy, and he also has handled a multiple Twitter account for India. He's been one of our the best trainer that we have here at Knowledge Hut, and he has a various experience, like vast number of experience, right from working with the Tata Group, or it could be directly, it could be from Ratan Tata and Mahindra Group. Hitesh also has trained more than 200,000 plus participants throughout his career, right? He's also trained Vietnamese government and built an AI hub, right? And also train one of the big firms like the Google and Microsoft, the Fortune 500s, right? And not only that, to add on to his credentials, he's added more than 400 plus corporates. He's trained more than 400 plus corporates. This is me. My name is Nachapa. The first time I'm hosting this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. Over to you, Hitesh.
Sure. So thank you so much, Shishapa, for that. And hi, everybody. A very, very warm welcome. First of all, can you guys hear me loud and clear? Give me a quick yes on chat box. So I want high energy in the room because the more you are energetic, the more I can give back to you, right? So please let the chat be buzzing, let the energies be high, and most importantly, let us start looking at how can we code using AI smarter and not harder, right? So my aim today over here is to kind of help you understand that how can you leverage tools, how can you leverage things, from a perspective of platforms like Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, multiple platforms, right? And I'm going to show you exactly that. How do you use it? How do you leverage it? And most importantly, how can you become a better developer? But before I do that, before I kind of go there and I kind of show you more about it, what I want to understand is I want to understand what you guys do right now. So if you all can quickly put in the chat box exactly three things: your name, which location are you from, and most importantly, what do you do? What's your role? Are you a software developer? Are you an architect? Are you a tester? What do you do right now? I would like to understand that. If you can put in the chat box, that will be great. I'll wait for about 30 seconds. All right, so you can see Z, he's self-employed and Southern UK. Fantastic. Welcome, Z. Okay, bro, what about others? Quickly. I want all of you to essentially, start telling me a little bit more about you guys. So we got Samir, he's a Nigerian software developer. We got Ganeshwar, Andhra Pradesh, full stack developer using .NET. Fantastic, welcome. Okay, we got Pallavi, Farashi, software developer as well. Amazing. Okay. Now, what I want to also understand is how many of you guys over here have effectively used coding so far? How much have you used AI in your codes right now? If you use AI extensively in your coding, give me a quick 4 or 5. If you are somebody who's exploring how to use AI in coding, give me a quick 1 on chat box. So depending on your expertise, if you're a complete novice, give me 1. In case you've heard it, tried it, but never used it extensively, give me a quick 2. And in case you are somebody who basically has been an expert in it, you keep on using this a lot, give me a quick, 4 or 5 on chat box. So I can see a lot of ones coming in, some fours definitely. Okay. So I can see a lot of ones and twos. So I'm going to keep this workshop little basic for people to follow through. Okay. Now it's a couple of ground rules, couple of things that I'm going to do over here. But I'm going to show you a couple of tools through which you can actually build an entire tool, entire software all by yourself using AI. All right. I'm going to go with some basic use case to advanced use cases as we move along. Okay. Number 1. Number 2. What I'm also going to do basically is I'm also going to, showcase to you a couple of tools within the IDE like GitHub Copilot and also outside the IDE like ChatGPT to leverage, it extensively. Okay. Number 3, we're going to go with some basic use case to advanced use case. I'm going to show you something like how to build a application using generative AI. to basically like, how can you essentially fix your codes, fix your bugs. I'm going to be using basically Python as a coding language, and I'm using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as my coding language. All right. Because at least with HTML, CSS, you don't require any dependencies. And if you want, you all can also do it with me. Right. So that's the idea. And that's basically, you know, what we can do over here. Okay. So just give me a second. Let me get my thing rolling. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, so a couple of rules. Now, if you guys want to do it with me, you will have to essentially like you download something called as a GitHub Copilot. Earlier, GitHub Copilot was basically paid. Now, GitHub Copilot has become absolutely free, right? So I would say leverage it. It's free, leverage it, use it. Because when you start working on some real applications in some organizations right now, I've also seen companies buying licenses for organizations, right? So please leverage it. Okay. Even if you do not have GitHub Copilot, you might want to use things like a chat GPT, for example, right? And you know, that will also basically help you with with everything that you're looking at right now. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Yes, I can just setting things up. Okay. So confirm to me if you guys can currently see my screen right now. And I hope there's no obstructions on my screen. Like, you can actually see this screen properly. You can't see any band or you cannot see any image coming on the right-hand side, right? I hope you're able to see my screen perfectly. Fantastic. So I can see some people have done coding, some people have not done coding, some people are undergraduate, some people are graduate. Don't worry about it. Okay, I got you covered. So first of all, hello and welcome in this program, right? I'll say my introduction, you already know about me. And a couple of rules in this session. Number one, this session is going to be completely hands-on. So please do not just see it, do it with me. Number two, take notes, right? Because the more you take notes, the better it is. And number three, ask me questions. The more questions you ask me, the better it will be the experience for all of you. So if you're ready to dive in this world of AI, give me a quick ready on chat box. Can you get ready to dive in this world of AI? Okay. So imagine a world today, where teams are spending 80% of their time on strategic decisions rather than mundane tasks. Now, this statement would have been a hyperbole, but today, at this age, this statement right now has become a reality. If somebody really wants, they can actually automate their work. They can actually automate most of their work using AI. And that's what my aim is. I'm going to show you, I'm going to display to you how can you build tools, how can you build applications today using AI, and you can actually like make it like end to end. All right. So let's try to build something. Okay. I'm just going to start off with a very interesting use case, and then I'm going to show you how do you code from basics to. So I'm going to use a software called Claude. So Claude is like a large language model. It's amazing. It's basically very intuitive today, right? And Claude can really do some very amazing work. So imagine, I want to now build an application and I want to build like a small little software which can show people, flashcards, small little flashcards, okay, for themselves. And these flashcards can teach them about Python. If you had to make the software like this, how much time will it take to build software like this, which can display small flashcards on the screen and help you learn Python, or at least give you basic concepts of Python from scratch? How much time will it take to build a front end, a software of this kind at your end? Can you just give me a number on chat box? How much time? It'll take 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, one full day. What do you guys think? How much time will you take for this? Quickly, give me a number on chat box. You want to build a good front end of a software which can teach people some knowledge base using flashcards, using small interactive flashcards. Yeah, I'll say at least 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna come to my Claude, and I'm gonna ask Claude that, hey, you know what? Can you help me build a small software, or build me a small web app, a web page, which can display interactive flashcards using Python. There's flashcards on a subject, Python, and teaching people. That's it. That's it. I press enter. And what AI is going to get to work, and AI will start generating a piece of code for me. Now, good thing about Claude is that I can see the code and I can see the execution at the same time on the right-hand side screen over here, right? And in a minute, probably in about a couple of minutes, it's going to basically build me an application wherein it's going to help me with flashcards relate to my topic, relate to my subject called Python, and teach me Python language coding with interactive flashcards. Okay, let's see how does it really span out. Here we go, guys. Look at this. What is Python? Click on it. Python is a high-level interpretation program language and for readability. Go next. How do you print text in Python? Use print function, print hello world. Next. How do you create variables in Python? Variables in Python are created by assigning value, name, XYZ, whatever. How many guys over here found this to be super cool? Give me a quick cool in chat box. Found this to be super duper cool. And look at this guy. You click on control flow, talks about control flow, talks about functions, talk about data structures, talk about oops, right? I just built a simple application which can teach people coding using AI. Found this to be super cool. Give me a quick cool in chat box, right? And what? In just fraction of seconds. If I would have done this on like a native coding by myself, it would have taken me ages to do this right now. But you're able to build simple web applications like these ones in just fraction of second. Pretty amazing, guys. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs be super good, super duper cool. Yeah, this is basically one about when I came to, when I actually say that today teams can start working harder, right? I mean, teams are working smarter, not harder. I actually mean it. That today teams can actually do more smart work. You see today, everything around us is changing. You look at manufacturing. Manufacturing change. Earlier, manufacturing used to be all manual, but today, manufacturing is all robotics. You see people's shopping behavior is changing, right? People's the way they transact, the way they do shopping is changing. So today, our cars are driven by AI. Our movie recommendations are given by AI. Even our investment decisions are made by AI. So the question is, why not our codes, right? So even the way we do coding has to change, right? Now, what can you do with these kind of AI tools when you start doing coding right now? Number one, AI tools can help you to code 10x faster as compared to anything else. Number one. Number two, you start learning a new language. So forget just coding. You can also learn something absolutely new, absolutely think from scratch because you're using AI powered tools to actually help you to learn some new language. Like just what we just did, right? All right. We basically built a small web app which can help us to learn some technology very, very fast. Number three, I can also automate a lot of my mundane tasks. And number four, I can drive business goals, right? Now, what are our options at this point in time? So either we basically go for tools like OpenAI, Google, or Anthropic, Right? We basically go with these tools, and we can actually start building. We can start prompt engineering, and through prompt engineering, start putting codes over here. Second option is we can also use something called as Copilot. Now, problem with LLMs are sometimes it's a data secure. You can't really build something up because what actually happens is when you start using them, you're not sure if you're violating a rule of open source or not. So you want something more secure, you want something more smart, and you want something which can actually help you to code within your IDE. So while I'm writing a code manually, I would want to code within my IDE at the end of the day, right? And that's what I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show you a tool. I'm going to show you a software called Copilot. With Copilot, you will be able to code within your IDE, number one. And number two, it supports almost all languages, right? You don't have to worry about I'm working on Golang, I'm working on TypeScript, I'm working on XYZ. It doesn't really matter what language you basically work on, to be very honest, right? You can actually use Copilot the way you would want to do any kind of tool in our software right now, right? It's very super cool. It's super easy. It doesn't require any technical skills. And if you, even if somebody is a non-coder today, let me tell you, you will be able to code right now in the next couple of minutes automatically, right? So you'll be able to do that on its own. Let me show you now. How do you, what is Copilot first of all? And then I'm going to show you how do we use it. So first I'm going to show you a very quick video on what exactly GitHub Copilot is all about. Then I'm going to show you some examples. I'm going to do live coding in front of you on GitHub Copilot itself. So let's simply look at some videos.
GitHub Copilot is an AI pair programmer that we built to help you rediscover the joy and creativity of coding. By drawing context from comments and code, Copilot suggests individual lines and whole functions instantly. It's currently available as an extension for NeoVim, VS Code, Visual Studio, and the family of JetBrains IDEs. Copilot handles low-level tasks and common problems like scaffolding new code and APIs, building regular expressions, or even working in unfamiliar programming language. Copilot helps you stay in the flow by quickly offering a variety of suggestions, new paths, and ideas for new frameworks. This lets you spend less time on boilerplate and repetitive code patterns and more time building great software. Copilot works for all major programming languages and is intelligent enough to adapt to your personal style over time. It can even help you learn new programming languages. To learn more, check out this link. Now, if only Copilot could suggest a cool way to end this video. Oh, that's not bad. Ooh, oh, that is the one right there.
Yeah, I hope you understand what Copilot is. It's very simple. It's a pair programmer. It helps you to basically, code, and it doesn't really, it's a Copilot, it's not a pilot for you, right? It's basically helping you to become an assistant to code better and code smarter. But what does Copilot do? Copilot helps you to complete codes, give suggestions, explain the code to you. Most importantly, even develop test cases for you and also fix issues in your code as well. So let's get started with some practicals. Let's simply install the Copilot first. So I'll tell you how to install Copilot. The first things first, you just simply go to Google, type GitHub Copilot, and you have to simply make a free account. So go over here, get started for free, and just go and make a free account over here. Once you make a free account, it will ask you to install Copilot in your code editor. Now they support all the possible code editors that we can think about right now. I'll be using Visual Studio Code though, but supports Xcode, JetBrains, NeoVim, and Azure Data Studio as well. They support almost all the possible IDs that one can think about. Now, if you're directly working with your IDE, I'll just show you how do you basically use this within your IDE itself. Just a moment. So what I've done is I simply open my IDE over here. Let me open a new piece of folder right now. At the back. Okay. Let me simply make a folder as well over here. Saying KnowledgeHut underscore GitHub Copilot underscore session. Okay. Now, how do we install IDE over here? I mean, how do you install GitHub Copilot over here? So simply if you go to extensions over here, once you go over here, type over here GitHub Copilot. Press enter. Go over here and press the install button. Right. Now, when you install GitHub Copilot, you also get a GitHub Copilot chat as well. You get both the features, GitHub Copilot and GitHub Copilot chat. And both these features basically help you to, code faster and code more smarter. So once you've done both of these things, that's it. You come back over here and you start seeing a GitHub Copilot icon on top over here. Right. So when you see the icon on top, this basically enables a chat feature within a Copilot right now. So let me just show you something. Let's just try to build our first application right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how do I build a small little game. Let me try to build a little snake game over here. So, when you were small, you must have played a snake game on your mobile phones, maybe. If you've never played it, it's a very cool game. Let's try to build a small little snake game using Copilot right now. There are a couple of ways I can do this over here. One way I can do this is I can simply start coding, okay, in HTML. So I can simply just give context via comments over here. I can simply just put a comment in that building a snake game in HTML, CSS, and JS in one file. Right? So simply just put this small little instruction over here. The moment I do this, you see I'm getting a small little code suggestion right now. Now this is what we call the ghost code. Now, if you're happy with suggestion, simply just press tab and you approve it. All right, that's it. And once you approve of things, then the Copilot will get to work and it will start coding things for you automatically. Now, moment you start, that's the moment I put title. Okay, then see it auto completes the code for you and understands everything. And see now it's basically auto complete the entire CSS for me right now, which is great. Now, when I come down over here, now it's completing the head, which is fantastic. And then if I just probably type body, so when I start coding, right over here, currently the Copilot understands that for me, and Copilot start iterating and thinking, it just auto-complete the next code for you. So that's what this tool actually does. It just auto-completes the next code for you right now. You see, right, wrote an entire code. It also wrote an entire JavaScript for me automatically, which is great. I simply just, get my JavaScript over here. Okay. And that way I'm simply able to, get my, my game done. I simply save this file and let's see basically what actually happens. Just give me a second. This is one way of using this tool. The second way of calling Copilot is, so with comments, you're guiding Copilot what to write. You're giving context to the Copilot on what should be done over here. Now, second, what I can do is I can also press this shortcut called Command I or Control I over here, and I can ask Copilot for a suggestion itself. Let's first see if our game is complete or not. Let's simply open this in a file explorer. And let's open this game and let's see if it actually works or not for us. So great. Now we are able to see this, game. And luckily the game is even working for us. Right? You see, like in a minute, we were able to build an entire game of Snake. And I'm also able to play it as well pretty easily, all using AI. Now, if I had to make this game manually, it would have taken me ages. But you see, because of coding, I'm able to build this game extremely fast. Fun should be super cool, everybody. How many of fun should be super cool? Give me a quick cool in chat box, right? We just made our first simple little game using AI. Yeah. Any questions, guys, till now? Do you guys want to ask me so far? Pretty amazing. Okay. Let's try to build something more complex than this. Okay, this is one way of using this code is by actually pressing the tab button and doing code for us right now. Okay. So second thing what I can actually do is I can also give context to AI by pressing the Control I button. And I can ask AI, now rather than being a snake game, let me just simply rename this thing. And let me just make into what we call this rock, paper, scissor. Right? Just try to make a simple game about rock, paper, scissor. I'll simply say Control I. I'm simply going to say, can you help me make a simple game where I am playing against the computer for rock, paper, and scissor game. The round should last for 3 attempts. Then the score should come on my screen and display who the winner is. See, now I am actually giving an instruction to my AI about it. And I can also choose a particular module. I'm going to use, I'm going to use Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Gemini 2.0 Flash, ChatGPT 4 Omni. I can choose any model of my choice, and I just press enter. Right now, AI will start thinking about my prompt, and it will actually automatically start writing a code for me. Now, how does it know what code to write? I do not specify HTML over here, but my file name is HTML. It understands automatically. Okay, this is basically supposed to be HTML, right? And AI will do the coding bit on its own currently and actually build an entire game for you from scratch. Let's write the code for us right now. Let's actually see. Just give it a minute or so. Now, once the AI writes an entire code for me, and I'm kind of happy with it, I simply just accept it. That's it. My code is written over here. Let's see if it's working or not. So once again, I'm going to simply, open my folder. Double click on it. Let's see what actually happens. So yeah, I can see this game. Let's try to play the game with the computer. Let's first choose rock. See, you win. Rock beats scissor. Fantastic. Let's do paper. You lose. Scissor beats paper. Okay. And I do scissor. And I say, okay, you're the winner. Final score is 2-1. Right. You see, I was able to build like a very simple application, a simple game over here, and just click of a button once again. Right. And I can start building small POCs, small projects over here just by using prompt engineering. So there are two ways to call Copilot. One way to call Copilot basically is you start coding automatically, start auto-completing code for you. Second way of doing this basically is where I can actually start, giving context by using Command I or Control I, and that's called inline coding. So I can let's take. I want to write documentation for this. I can also simply just come over here, and I can simply just control. I can simply say write a documentation for this code, right? And then AI will start writing documentation for me for this entire code and actually help me understand, okay, what does this elements do, right? So, I can simply write documentation. I can simply write the entire code. I can simply understand what's written over here. I can do all that stuff with inline coding. So inline coding assists me to do things a little better, right? Found this to be pretty amazing, guys. If you're very clear so far, if you're able to understand me very, very clearly, give me a quick yes on chat box. Yeah, at this point in time, do you have any questions for me? More than happy to help you out. If you have any questions, any doubts, any queries, more than happy to help you out. All right. Okay. Now let's try something more complex than these things. So let's say we build some games, which is great. Now let's try what we call as code refactoring. Now I built this entire game, on HTML. But I want to build the same game in, let's say, for example, in Python. So how do I do that? I simply just copy this entire code of mine. I'll start a new file and I'll simply say rock paper scissor.py, rps.py. Right? So I want to simply make a .py file over here. And then I can either give a context by putting a comment. I'll simply say make a rock paper scissor game in Python. Right? I'll simply give a context. And again, AI auto completes the code for me right now. Okay. But I can simply use something called as a GitHub Copilot chat. So how do you enable a chat feature in GitHub Copilot? You simply come on top over here, click on this small little button, click on open chat. You can simply say, can you refactor this code of HTML to Python? Simply give you a HTML code, what we just made earlier, press enter. And then the chat feature will get to work for me and it'll start building a game for me in Python. Let's see what actually happens over here. I don't have to give any context. I don't have to tell, okay, let's play 3 rounds, let's do this, let's do that, right? What's happening is that AI will do things automatically. Now in the chat feature, I have 3 options over here. Either I can basically apply this to, my notebook directly. I can also simply push this to my notebook directly as well. And I can also simply copy the code and paste it over here as well. So there are multiple options that you have right now which you can use. Let's just save this particular file right now. Let's run this particular code for us. Okay, so as you choose your move, rock, paper, or scissor. Let's type rock. You win. Rock, scissor. Just choose your move. I simply say paper. Says you win. Let me just choose rock. See, so you lose, but you're the winner. Final score player 2. Final score player 2 and computer is 1. You see, I was able to simply give it the same game in Python by refactoring a particular code. So now you can also refactor your code, refactor your, you know, your programs in one language to the language automatically by using the GitHub Copilot chat. These are 3 features of Copilot because you can code basically using what we call is comments. In code, you can basically use it using the control I feature. And you can also simply use the GitHub Copilot chat to actually do this thing for you, right? So you can actually start doing development a little faster and a little better. Now, let me try to build a very complex application. Okay, let's try this out. Why don't you guys give me an app that you have in mind that you want to build, any application of your choice that you wish to build right now, and I'll try to build it live and I'll show you. Anybody, any application, your choice. Okay. But don't give me extremely complex apps. Something which is basically which will be interesting, which will be fun. Okay. Monopoly. The Monopoly is a little complex because Monopoly, I have to, I can build a UX and UI for Monopoly if you want, Tina, right? And I can show you, but okay, let's attempt Monopoly. A little complex, but let's see if we can build Monopoly or not. For Monopoly, what I'm going to do is rather than using this, I'm going to use AI. I'm going to use chat feature, okay, of ChatGPT. Let's see if I'm able to do that or not. Let's actually see that. Okay. Because Monopoly requires multiple components, so it's not that simple. But at least I can attempt to make a UX and UI for you for Monopoly for sure. Okay, let's do that. So now I'm going to go to my ChatGPT and I'm going to ask this tool that, okay, you know what? I want to build a simple Monopoly game on HTML. Can you help me build one? Okay. So we need a basic game board, we need game logic, we need clear interactions. So what AI is building, AI is now giving me HTML structure. Let complete the entire code for me. Let's see what happens. Let's simply copy this piece of code. Let's come back to our Visual Studio this time, and I'm going to simply use something called as, I'm going to make a folder over here called Monopoly, okay? And I'm going to simply use a file called as index.html. Paste it over here, right? So come back. And this is basically the JavaScript file for Monopoly. Let's simply do that. When you copy this file, come back. You have to always keep in mind, when using AI, you have to keep in mind this file names very, very well. So let me just choose monopoly.js. Save this create the file as well. Okay. We also have a CSS file. Okay. So you remember, this is basically the paper monopoly.js. Okay. And then, okay, also modify the file for roll dice as well. Simply use this as well. Button. Okay. And you also just add this piece to my existing file. Save it over here. Right. Do I have a CSS somewhere? Yes, it's already built in my HTML itself. Okay, let's try it out. Let's simply open this thing on a file explorer. Let's simply open this particular file. Okay, so yeah, we got this interesting thing. Let's say go. This is not interactive though, somehow. Let me just see if I think I made some mistake in the name of my file. It's monopoly.js, monopoly.js. Okay, this is perfect to me actually. 10. Okay. Okay. Let's try to improve the UX. So I'll simply say, let me take a screenshot of this. Let me say, the game has a poor UI and the functionality is not working. Can you help me with complete file? So now, basically, like, so now what happens? So it's gonna like improve the UI for me right now. Now it's basically made two files for me in HTML, and basically also made a CSS file for me right now. Let's just simply modify this. Let me do this HTML file first. Let's come back to our monopoly.js. Take the file, Control S. Okay, let's come back. Let's do style.css. Styles dot css. Paste it over here. Okay, copy this. HTML. Let's simply come back. Let's simply choose the JavaScript file. Copy this. Save it over here. Let's come back to our game. Refresh it. Yeah, now we got some little bit of better UI, but it's not that great again. So I'm going to simply say, can you make it look like a board game? Currently, it looks like my screenshot. Let me say, I want it to look like a board game. So I'm creating a CSS file of mine that do its magic. Just some caveat, guys. When you use Copilot, by the way, Copilot only gives you 2000 chats for free, right? So basically, it's limited. It's not like unlimited. So which is why if you want to and Copilot as a backend uses ChatGPT only. So I would recommend that if you're doing some coding, and if you're not doing something sensitive in nature, you can basically use ChatGPT itself if you wish, right? And if you're not doing something sensitive, then you essentially want to use ChatGPT directly. Okay, let's come back to our page. Let's refresh this. Now it's looking a little bit like a board game, but not that great to be very honest. There's little dice also. You got dice. Okay, you can be just put this. Okay, so it's not that great though because ChatGPT somehow sucks at these things. Let's try to look at some more app. Let's try to put the same prompt on a Claude and let's see if Claude is able to give me a good game and a good UX UI on this right now. Let me come back and let me say, can you help me build a Monopoly game and ensure it looks sleek and modern? Okay. Now, in this case, I didn't specify what kind of language I want to use. So what happens is sometimes they'll use React JS, and React JS obviously can do much better job as compared to what a native HTML can do. Let's see how does the UX UI come out to be over here in case of a Claude. Claude is like when Claude is like magical because they have a better context, a better logic, and they start like doing things in a much better way. So I really love for building something. I really love Claude because that's my go-to application for whatever I have to build right now. Second, I would prefer GitHub Copilot because Copilot is again fantastic. Copilot can simply do things for you, which actually is something I've never imagined so far. It's crazy, right? Right, a lot of codes, a lot of lines, huh? I mean, look at the amount of effort that the AI is putting in. Look at the amount of, you know, it's really like a job of, I think, say like 10, 20 developers in one go. Now, I think it's out of limit. Let's fix it. The main thing should work. If it doesn't work, it's of no use. Stuff like this entire effort is futile. And the biggest problem with these tools are they once again code the entire thing from scratch. When you make a simple mistake, they'll fix a small little part of it. They'll once again code the entire thing from scratch. And sometimes, you don't want that. Okay. By the time it does this, okay, kind of help us with it. Let me just show you something else. Okay, because this game will keep on getting built. But let me just show you something else right now. Now let's try to build something more better, right? So let's not try to build something interesting. Let's this time build a small little to-do list using AI. Okay, and we'll come back to our Monopoly game in some time from now. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to use a chat feature, and chat is one of my go-to features most of the time because I think chat they do like a much better job as compared to anything else. Let me probably say to-do list HTML. Okay, sorry. So let me try a new chat. Let me say, okay, you know what? Can you help me build a modern designed to-do list app to increase productivity? Code HTML, CSS, and JS in one file. So I don't want different files. I want AI to just be like one single file. Okay. Looks like I'm out of credit. Just 1 second, wait. We'll do one more time. Okay. Now I was trying to build. Let's see. Anything happen? So now you see, like now AI is coding the entire thing for me. Now, once I've done this, let's simply implement this back to our thing. I'm going to push this to my page. Let me control. Let me just save this over here. Let me close this bit of. Let me just close this bit of piece. And let's simply go back and open this up. Okay. I just task. Say hi. Okay, first that's perfect. Works well. Meeting at 2 p.m. Okay, fantastic. It's working absolutely fine. We delete this. It's going to delete it. So it's pretty amazing. Not bad. Let's come back to our list. Let's simply say. Now suppose I want to edit only the styling. I can simply just highlight CSS code from here. I can simply use control. I can simply say, can you make the style more like Apple UI? Let's see if people understand what an Apple UI looks like. It's changing something, doing something right now, which is amazing. Okay, pretty cool. Accept this, accept this. Okay, so the body, the to-do to the button, to the highlighter. Okay, let's see what actually happens. Let's simply refresh this page. All right, let's say chest. I'll simply say, meeting at 2 p.m. Okay, pretty good. This year you is being a little better than before, which is great. Let me also simply say, let me go back to my chat. Let me say, can you add a feature of adding time and date too? Let's try typing for you. Let's see what happens. Okay, meanwhile, let me just check out. This is a game. It's Go, Mediterranean, Community Chest, this thing. Player one, player two, how much money do you have? Roll the dice. So we got two over here. Player one do the chest card. Player one landed on it, roll dice two. Okay, wait on 2 seconds. Let's say end the turn. Let's roll the dice for player number two. Okay, would you like to buy Mediterranean? Yes, I would like to buy Mediterranean. So cool. How many guys found this to be super cool, guys? A simple Monopoly game, and it's functional. I can basically play it, right? I mean, it's so amazing. I can't believe that that AI can do this so fast. And it also gives you like a log at the bottom. It has a dice over here. It's got money. The money's been deducted automatically. Everything is happening at just what? Click of a button. How many guys over here are mind blown right now? Give me an MB on chat. I think they're totally mind blown with this so far, right? I mean, you can build an entire game within application in just what, less than like 5 minutes? Yeah, pretty impressive. Not that bad. Okay. All right. Let's just simply go ahead. Now, so like once we basically built the new piece of code, we simply just copy this. Let's simply copy this, come back over here, delete it, paste it over here, let's press enter. Let's go back to our page, let's refresh this page. And now we've got time and date. Meeting at 2 p.m. My date is, let's say, for example, on April 14th. My time right now is 2:30. Add task. Whoa. Done. Right? I built a to-do list app for myself and I can be more productive. I mean, just what? We're just like 1 hour down and we already built like what? 4 applications so far. Yeah. Did you all find this to be pretty amazing? How many guys over here don't imagine that AI can do all of these things before the session, by the way? And how many think that this is so interesting? I mean, now I'm not saying it can replace coders, to be very honest, but it can actually help you with building basic proof of concepts, basic applications, right? And at least it will help you to be more productive than before. How many guys over here feel that? Give me your I do on chat box. And give you feel that yes, it's time saving, it's productive, and it's amazing, right? Okay. Now, let me just build one last application for you. Okay. This time I'm gonna attempt building an app. I'm gonna try to see if I can build like an AI powered application which can actually improve my resume, right? I'm not guaranteeing it can happen. Let's try it out. Okay, let's try. Okay. So I'm gonna simply go to my LLM projects. So there's no guarantee. I'm doing for the very first time, to be very honest, right? So I'm just gonna attempt doing this. Okay, let me just do something more simpler actually. Let me just use travel planner. Okay. Let me just use this folder right now. And I'm going to simply tell AI that let's build travel underscore planner dot py. Okay. Let me also run this. Let me also like simply put run a Copilot chat. And we say, can you use Google generative AI and help me build a travel planner, itinerary planner where I can give prompts. Let me choose Gemini for this. With This is Gemini for making a Google app. And I'll simply say, can you build me a Google generative AI? Help me build a travel itinerary planner where I can give a location and number of days I want to visit. Basis that the answer that comes out from LLM is shown on the screen. Use Streamlit. That's it. Let's see what actually happens here. Enable. Okay, let's set this create a workspace for us. Let's first making like a utility file, making a Streamlit configuration, making an app.py file for me over here, which is amazing. All right. Actually, wrote an entire code for me. Yeah. It's done. But where do I put my API? Where do I put my API? It's OpenAI. Okay. I want to save I want you to use .env to store my API and use Google Generative AI API. Let's create the workspace. All right. So this is my API key over here. Fantastic. I will also use my streamer configuration file over here, which is great. I use my main.py file to actually call in my model, the model file. I call my model from here. Okay. Okay, looks like it's done. We're still using OpenAI though. Let me just see if you're importing OpenAI or not. Simulate iterary get load API key. Okay. Let's use iterary.py. Okay, iterary planner. Looks fine for me. Okay. Let me go save. Can I? Multiple is going to be confusing. Let me just simplify this workflow for me. Okay. Can I get the entire Streamlit and code and prompt in one file? Okay. I think Google's a little swanky. Let me just refresh this thing for myself. Wait. Because it's not something that is pretty similar, because I don't think that code will actually work. I think it's a hallucinator. Let's go with native GPT-4. I think that's much better, because at least GPT-4 is far, far better. Okay, let me just say the same prompt right now over here that I put earlier. Let me just go back to my history. But you can go to history from here. Let me go to the history. Let me go to my first very prompt. Let me copy this prompt. Let me just use GPT-4. Okay, let's see what actually happens. Okay. Let me just use the workspace. No requirement. Fantastic. There's my app.py file. It's pretty amazing. My itinerary planner. Okay. And I will go to the requirement txt file. I ultimately got my let's try it out. Let's also simply say where do I add my API key? Okay. I don't generated a file, but I cannot see any place. I cannot see anything to put my API key over here. Iterary generator.py. Okay, it's written code for me. Let's do this code right now. Let's copy this. Let's place this over here. Okay. This is my API key, which I put over here. But it's not using OpenAI though, right? This does not actually work. This does not simply work, to be very honest, because there's a mistake in this code right now. Let's fix this. So this is again where you have to start using your own coding skills, because while AI is great, but AI is hallucinative, right? So as I told you earlier, AI is something which you can use. You use AI to actually help you, but AI cannot replace you, unfortunately, right? AI cannot replace you, and that's something that you have to keep in mind, guys. Now, while AI is fantastic, but AI is not there yet fully. Messages dot content. Okay. So this is fine. Rule is there. User prompt. We use the prompt from top. Use chat completion. Use chat GPT-4 or mini. And you have to give an API key over here. Alright, so let me just quickly put my API key. Just give me a second. I'm just going to put my API key over here, guys. Let's hope this actually works. I'm going to stop my screen share for a bit because I'm just put my pasting my API key over here. Although we shouldn't be pasting my API key like this natively. I'm doing it because I'm just testing things out, to be very honest. But actually, I wouldn't do this if I was, you know, doing it as a live project. So I would be very careful of doing this. Okay. All right. Drop the part. Okay, let me just simply say cd streamlit run app.py. Okay, so that's working. Let me just do one thing. I'm not using this. Let me just go to my chat GPT and use it. Because this is something which is, I mean, not working out somehow. It's being hallucinated. Normally you do a good job, but sometimes they all kind of suck at this also. It's okay. Let's try to do this one natively via chat GPT. Okay, so now writing a piece of code for me, which is great. I'll change this. This model is extinct right now, by the way. Now I'll just simply say, can you use GPT 4 mini? And sometimes you see there's something new, you just simply say, and you say search for latest way to call the model and use a chat model. And now it will do that. This is perfect. This is fine. This is great. Yeah, this could actually work for us. I think this piece of code right now. I will come back to my travel app, paste it over here. I'll put my API key. Give me a second. I'll just put my API key over here. Okay. Now, once I'm done with this, that's it. Let me just go to my terminal. Let me also do conda activate. I'm going to activate my virtual environment right now. Let me also install my dependency. Let's see if dependency is installed or not. Let me install my dependency. Do I have all dependencies? Let me install it. But just in case you do not know Python, if you install dependencies over here before you do anything, once you have done that, then this app will actually work pretty well. Most everything satisfied. So I think I'm already installed everything at my end. Done. You streamlit run travel.py. And now, hopefully, that should actually work. Okay. Something is happening. Yep. Let's put a location called Mexico for 3 days. Right. There was some error. The error related to the code. So we should have okay, no problem. After message dot content actually. Okay, and I have to use GPT. I have to use this thing to chat GPT. See chat dot completions. And now it should work. Let's put Mexico. A little bit of time. Yes. I just made an AI powered app, guys, using OpenAI. Mind blown, everybody, so far? Give me an MB for your example, mind blown with this. You just built an AI powered application, right? Software which can do travel itinerary planner for you in what? 15 minutes at tops. So this is the power of AI assisted coding, guys. You can use AI assisted coding to do things for you right now. And that's what I had for today. Okay, so just to recap, today you see it's not about you have to start coding smart and not hard. You still need to know how to debug things on your own. Like I did some little bit of debugging as we moved along, on our journey. And most importantly, you have to have a good logical thinking, because while AI can do the coding, but AI cannot think on your behalf. So one who can think great can code great at this particular time, right? But that's what I had for today. I hope you guys